words after me. I am loving. Think about that. You are love, and you were created to be loving. You were created to use the active power that is resonant in you to change everything around you. So you are love, and you are loving. And now this is the biggest part. I am loved. That means that's the end of the story. You don't have to question if you're loved. You don't have to question if the heart belongs to you. You don't have to question if you're beautifully and wonderfully made, because you are loved, you are loving, and baby, you are loved.
Amen.
The way we do this thing is we have to think that we were created for action. We were created to be world changers. We were created to make sure that everything in this beautiful world is accessible to all of the divine's creation. That means there are none of us that are bigger than other people. That means that none of us should have our privilege lording over somebody else. But that means if you're going to pull up, start from the bottom so we all can get up to the top. Each and every one of us has the unique gift in us to speak truth to power, to name the mountains that have been raised that they need to be down in the valley. And everybody who says I'm above somebody else, somehow that you're not lovable, that you're not good enough, that you weren't created in this perfect image, that we collectively say, that ain't nothing but a lie. Amen. Because we know inherently, as we take in that breath, we take in the breath of life. And when we breathe back out, we breathe the breath of life into those who are around us. Amen. The scripture that I chose asks us to do a couple of things. First, it asks us to ask. Some of us, our action is in the asking folks their gender pronouns and how they'd like to be addressed. Asking people about their partners as opposed to just assuming that we know. Asking people how they want to be nurtured and loved, how they want to be communicated with, how they want to be respected, how we should engage with them. Each and every one of you has the spiritual and natural authority and hopefully some common sense to be able to ask a question. Our society is struggling because somebody failed to ask. They failed to ask about dignity. They failed to ask about respect. They failed to ask about how we can interact with each other in a more formative way. So we must learn to ask. There's somebody that you needed to ask something to or for or with, and today is your day. Pick up the phone, do social media, whatever you got to do, but learn the questions so that you can ask, how can I be your neighbor?
Amen.
How can I be your neighbor? Next thing in the scripture I picked, seek. Each and every one of us are seeking, but you have to begin to seek some folk that are not like you. Seek some people who don't speak the language you speak, who don't look like you look, and who aren't at your dinner table. Seek some folks who think and have a different opinion than you, because in their transformation, because progressives, we're always trying to transform somebody else, we also might be transformed. I'm going to pick on Reuben. He's a member of our church. Reuben spent some time with some of our Ethiopian siblings who are walking up and down the street with signs. And the signs are talking about receiving Jesus in a particular way. People have thrown things at them, they've screamed at them, they've isolated them because they feel what they're doing is somehow not indicative of love. Reuben at 16 went and had coffee with him.
Come on.
You know why the coffee is important? Because maybe in something he said and in something they said, they saw each other's humanity and not a cup of water being thrown at you. We have to learn to seek out other people. And this young man has inspired me that next time I see my siblings walking down the street, that I pause in my handing out flags and everything and maybe just say, you're loved. And you are loved. And you are loving. And so maybe there's something weird about this man in a collar that's beaded out, come on, that still says, I love you, that might do more than me throwing a cup. We better seek. Seek those of difference so that we can model the love we want to receive. Now, this is my favorite part of this. The last part says, knock and the door shall be opened. We got to start knocking on some doors. We got to knock on every door that says we're not welcome and that we're not allowed. We got to knock on the shop that says we will not serve you. We got to knock on the places that say you do not belong. You don't have voice. It wasn't created for you. Baby, you better knock on those doors. We got to knock on some cake shops. Come on, y'all, let's listen to me. We got to knock on some legislators' doors. We got to knock on the Capitol steps. Every place we have the opportunity to knock, we better knock. Some of us, because I'm going to preach from the Christian tradition, we need to knock on some churches. You see, the protest isn't just not going anymore or ignoring it or saying the faith hurt me so I don't want to be a part of it. No, the faith is showing up and knocking. And in the midst of sometimes the most hateful things, you stand up and say, are you talking about me? Are you suggesting that I'm not lovable? Are you suggesting I'm not created in the image of the Almighty God? Are you suggesting that your God, you are so small that somehow I would have to be left out? Well, I'm here to knock because I own this place. Because it was created for me and with me in mind. And I will not be silenced because your understanding is too small to accommodate how fabulous I am today. You better knock. And let me tell you this as I go to my seat. If all of us start knocking like we lost our minds, the world might find theirs. Amen.